All right, I want to welcome everyone to our live Saturday morning presentation. We've got a lot of material that we want to cover today, and it all is in relationship to the title that you see on the opening slide called Proper Sponsoring and Placement Techniques. This is a PDF that I worked on yesterday, and I'll show you where it's located in our Synergy Family website. And it basically gives you a quick review of how to make sure that you place people in your organization so that you can build both sides of your organization. In Synergy Worldwide, we're called a dual linear mega match compensation plan. So dual linear, if you look at this individual down here at the bottom of the image that I'm showing you, that would be your tracking center one. So when you joined Synergy Worldwide, you had a tracking center one. Any person that you sponsor into Synergy Worldwide, they're going to have a tracking center one. All of their organization revolves around their tracking center one. There's just two sides to the organization. There's a left side and a right side. And as you bring new people into your Synergy business, you want to make sure that you properly sponsor and place them into your organization so that both your left and right sides of your organization are going to grow properly and develop properly, because it's important for you to earn residual income through the proper growth of your organization down underneath your tracking center one. Now, I want to go back to our Synergy family. The starting point for everything, that if you need something, I had a couple people call me last week or send me emails, where do I find this? Well, the starting point is always going to oursynergyfamily.com. And then from there, depending upon what you're looking for, you're going to then click on one of these icons. Now, for example, someone asked me yesterday, where can I find the nitric oxide therapy ebook? Well, again, you go to oursynergyfamily.com, you click on resources, and resources will take you to the dedicated page. And as you can see, the first area is nitric oxide therapy, and right there is the image for the PDF for the nitric oxide therapy ebook. So again, all I had to do is just show them where that's located. You click on the image, that image then goes and loads up the PDF for our Synergy, for our nitric oxide therapy ebook, and then all you have to do is just right click and copy that URL, and you can send it to an individual. So again, we have resources that have been created. These are the resources that I use, not necessarily on a daily basis, but certainly on a weekly basis. I use these things. Someone want to know where they could find the instruction sheet. And then since I'm on this page, Timothy's on today's presentation. Timothy uses boxes. And so because he uses boxes, the instruction sheet that we use for the canisters doesn't always apply, because it's very difficult to get a half a scoop out of a packet or sachet. So Timothy asked me if I could put the instruction sheets into packet, or for people who use the packets, the individual wrappers. So I did that for him, and it's now located in the resource page. So all you have to do is click on that, and you can see that here's your general instructions for packets. And what I had suggested is that you do one packet for the first 4 days, introduce people into the product, allow their systems to adapt to the product, and then on day 5, have them increase from doing one packet in the morning to doing one packet in the morning, and then one packet in the late afternoon, early evening, or for men, if they're looking for a sexual health benefit, they can take that one packet 30 minutes prior to going to bed. So again, we've got the information there now for general instructions in terms of how to use the product if you're basically working with the single serve boxes. And that is located again on the our Synergy family resource page. Now let me click off of this. And so the main thing that we want to understand is that as I'm showing you this information today, it's all located in your Synergy funnel. It's not, in this case, it's not our Synergy funnel, because it's not my funnel, it's not your funnel, it's your funnel. So it's your Synergy funnel. So when you click on that icon, it's going to take you to the page for your synergy funnel. Now, I've got these already preloaded, and some of the things that we've talked about. Let me close this one off here. So when you're on the funnel page, this image you can click on, and it's going to open up into this following PDF. And one of the things that we've done over the last month is we've been helping you systematically build your synergy funnel and systematically build your synergy organization with solid foundation to be able to grow a successful synergy business. We talked about having your mission and the Million Lives Project and how to adapt that and how to do your elevator speech. We talked about your marketing strategy with you determining what that marketing strategy is going to be, and key tools that you can use, resources that you can use to help you promote your marketing strategy, because all marketing is letting people know what you're doing. So you can decide your marketing strategy, but if you don't implement your marketing strategy, no one's going to know what you're doing. So you can't expect people to be able to mind read what you're doing or even have any interest in what you're doing unless you create a strategy to help people know what you're doing. 2 weeks ago, we talked about your system, the 10-10 Club. And then we've talked in the past about the art of asking questions, which is a real key skill that if you want to take your synergy business to the next level, understanding the art of asking questions and knowing how to use that will help you create interest. That interest will then help you have people that want information given to them. And then in that process of giving them information, you're taking them down through your funnel. So again, one of the other things that when you go onto this page and scroll down, if you click on building your synergy funnel, again, you click on that and it takes you to this PDF. Again, PDF that you can print off. I have the previous image PDF, this PDF, I've got them printed off. I have them where I can look at them on a daily basis to make sure that the activities that I'm doing are going to help move people through my funnel and are going to help me properly build the infrastructure to build a huge synergy organization. That's my goal in 2019. My goal in 2019 is to double my organization by the end of March and then be at the team director level no later than the end of this year. And so for me to be able to do that, I have to continue to build my infrastructure properly and implement the things that I'm teaching and training you to do, because I know that as I've implemented them, I gain customers, which become clients, and I gain business builders that as I work with them become team members in my 10-10 Club that I personally sponsored, and I can help them continue to duplicate. And so when we come down here, you'll see this on the right-hand side, you see this word engage. We've got attract, convert, engage. So as I convert people who are interested in the business opportunity in Synergy Worldwide and convert them into team members, Synergy distributors, then I need to be able to engage them effectively. And one of the things that I need to help them understand is proper sponsoring and placement, which is what we're going to talk about in today's presentation. Now, as I go down through this page that I've created for you, step 1 is this awareness attract. Step 2 is consideration convert. Step 3 is client engage. And so as you go down through here, you can see that we've done Saturday presentations that have been recorded. Today's presentation is being recorded. That way you'll have access to it to be able to help remind you of things that you need to do. But this is a very powerful presentation that we did on Saturday. It's not powerful because of what I did and because I did it. It's powerful because of the information that's in this. And then there's a PDF that I used for that presentation. You can click on this PDF here and you can see the scripts that I used. And you can see how the script that I used for the elevator speech and how you can model that and be able to tweak it to your own voice. So when a person asks you, well, what do you do for a living? Well, I help people with, I think it's called nitric oxide therapy. Well, that's really going to create a lot of interest. No, your elevator speech was, I'm part of the Million Lives Project. And our goal is to help 1 million people or more understand how they can use nitric oxide therapy to naturally improve most cardiovascular health concerns. Do you know anyone who has high blood pressure or diabetic complications? So a powerful elevator speech with a question to engage that person in conversation. And again, you've got the resources here. It's just it's now your responsibility to use these resources, to learn from these resources, to implement these resources, so that as you create interest and awareness and interest, you can lead them to consideration and convert. If I am able to create interest, I then am able to understand in their interest exactly what tools and resources to give to them or send to them by email to be able to develop that interest into wanting to go on the product, wanting to use our product of choice, Progen Plus. Or if you're doing the weight management program, help them understand how the Biome Protect Kit would be ideal for helping them with a weight management program. Or if they're looking to reset their gut health, how the Purify Kit would be ideal for helping them reset their gut health, and then knowing exactly what to do once they've reset their gut health, started with the Purify Kit, finished the Purify Kit, they're feeling fantastic. What's my next step? You know exactly what to do in helping them put the right products into their lifestyle, which then helps them accomplish their goals and places CV volume on your tracking center one to grow your synergy business, to grow the cash flow that comes from elite rebates, to grow your synergy business. And for those that want to become business builders, again, understanding how to engage them. 2 weeks ago, we shared with you the 10-10 Club. I asked the question, who would like to make $68,000 or more per year in residual income? Everyone that was on that webinar responded positively to that. Well, the 10-10 Club is ideal for helping you to accomplish that. Just a brief, quick summary. The 10-10 Club, there's 2 10s in the 10-10 Club. The first 10 is related to customers. Your goal is to be able to get customers to go, or I should say prospects to go down through your funnel and convert them into customers, and then from customers to convert them into clients, and from clients convert them into advocates. So for example, I have a guy that saw my videos. You know, that's the way that I help people understand what I do. That's my main marketing strategy. I use YouTube videos to gain 99% of my clients, my customers. Now, as I gain my customers, they've been attracted to me through my video. My video has already provided me with the ability to create a level of trust with them, so that typically when they call me, it's what's the cost? Or I've got a couple questions. I've seen your video, I've watched your video a couple times, or I've watched a couple of your videos. I cannot tell you how often I hear that. Now, you have the same access to some of these same videos that I use that are attracting people. You have non-branded versions of those videos all hosted in the Synergy library for you. So you have the ability to use some of the same videos that I'm using to attract people to me. Your format may be a little bit differently, where you're sending those videos to people, but those videos work because I know that they work for me. So anyways, I have a person who saw that. They became a customer, who became a client, who is now an advocate. Just yesterday, or I should say 2 days ago, he called me and he wanted me to send a jumbo jar +1 of the grape to his daughter, who now wants to get her son on the product. And then yesterday he called me again for another person on the East Coast. You know, his daughter's on the West Coast. He's got a person on the East Coast that he wants me to send a jumbo jar +1 of the grape to this individual. Since he's started on the product and the product has done such a fantastic job helping him improve his health, he has referred over 5 people to me. He's an advocate. And you know what? Those people go through the top of my funnel quickly because they already have his recommendation. And they want to be on the product because of his testimonial and his recommendation. That's the power of having advocates. And as David talked about with regards to having a follow-up system so that you can make sure that you're engaging with your customers to help them become clients because they're having a good experience on the product because you're following up with them, making sure that they're taking the product properly. For example, I've got a client in Hawaii. Well, the client in Hawaii didn't bother to, I shouldn't back up, read my instruction sheet, but didn't bother to follow the instruction sheet. Decided that he was going to take 4 scoops on a daily. He bought boxes. So he decided to do 4 sticks on a daily basis. Well, needless to say, he ended up with loose stools and diarrhea. Well, in working with him, I got him to, 1, stop what he was doing, give his body a week to get back to, quote, normal, and then let's follow the instruction sheet this time and do it the way that I'm asking you to do it. You know, you're not in a life or death situation. You don't need to be overly aggressive with the product. And even if you were, we would still take time to slowly build up to the 4 packets a day or 4 scoops a day. But you don't have life-threatening health issues. So let's just follow the instruction sheet. 1 packet, 1 time a day for your first 5 days, first thing in the morning. And then on day 5, you're going to bump that up from 1 packet in the morning to 1 packet in the morning to an extra 1 packet late afternoon, early evening, or 30 minutes prior to bedtime. And let's just do that system and see how you do. Again, it's helping my client use the products properly. And if he's getting the results that he's looking for, then my probability of being able to convert him from a client to an advocate where he's willing to refer people to me substantially increases. And even if he doesn't become an advocate, he'll become a good client who continues to reorder. Now, why am I spending time and telling you this? Because the goal of the first 10 is to have 10 monthly orders from my customer, my client base. Because if you have 10 customer orders from your client base, you're going to most likely make over $300 in elite rebates, which is real cash flow to operate your synergy business. The other part of the equation are business builders. Business builders are where you're going to create your residual income. And with business builders, again, when you go back to the 10-10 club, this second 10 is having 10 committed business builders that I can work with to help them duplicate this system, help them determine their marketing strategy, help them understand their mission statement, help them with their elevator speech so that when a person asks them the question, what do you do for a living? Or how you doing today? Oh, I'm fine. No, I'm fantastic. I just helped another individual take their blood pressure from 160 over 90 to 112 over 68, all through nitric oxide therapy. It's just fantastic. And then you can just leave it there. And if a person's interested, they're going to start asking you questions. Well, how do you do that? Well, I do it through nitric oxide therapy. Well, what is that? You've never heard of nitric oxide therapy? You know, it doesn't surprise me. It's over 20 years now since the Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded in this area, yet most people still have never heard of it. A lot of doctors don't understand it, but it's a natural way to address most cardiovascular health concerns. In fact, I've got a video that I could send to you. You know, what is your primary concern? Is it high blood pressure? Is it diabetic complications? Poor blood flow, poor wound healing? You know, what particular area of circulation do you need to be helped with? And then as you engage that person in conversation, you can then determine what video in the Synergy library is going to help address that issue. And you'll get permission from them to send that video to them. You'll get their name and their email address if you didn't already know it, and be able to send it. And again, we have scripts on how to write that email, how to send it to that person, and most importantly, how to follow up with that person to see if they actually watched it and what part of it spoke to them, created interest for them. So as I teach the people that I've had the privilege to be able to sponsor into Synergy Worldwide, notice I use the word privilege. This is about helping people develop successful businesses. It's a privilege to work with people who want to go to work, develop a successful network marketing business in Synergy Worldwide, because as I help them be successful in growing their client base, to create cash flow to operate their Synergy business, and as they attract people who want to join them in the business to help teach them exactly what I'm teaching my 10 committed business builders to do, my personally sponsored committed business builders to do, in building a successful Synergy organization by using proper sponsoring and placement techniques. Yes, there's a reason why I'm doing this. We're going to get the proper sponsoring and placement techniques in just a second. But as I do that, they create residual income for me. And as we shared in the 1010 Club, you can watch this video. You can click on the PDF that I used for this presentation, and you can see the power of creating basic commission. But what blows the basic commission out of the water in terms of residual income are mega matches. Every person that I personally sponsored who I can help them develop a Synergy business, starting to earn a basic commission, I dollar for dollar match their basic commission. And as I showed to you in this presentation, and you can click on this PDF, that mega match component is powerful. That mega match component by itself can get you to $68,000 per year or more in residual income, which for many people, the reason why I chose that number is for many people that gives them the financial independence to do what they want to do. If they want to stay in their current job because they love their current job, fantastic. But if they hate their current job, then that gives them the ability to make the decision to leave the job that they hate and do what they love to do. Help other people improve their health because they've used a system, the 1010 Club, to build their organizational structure. And part of building your organizational structure is understanding proper sponsor and placement techniques. Now, again, this is the resource page on our Synergy, this is your Synergy funnel page on our Synergy family website. And as you scroll down, we have a video, Understanding Proper Sponsor and Placement Techniques. That video will help you understand how to properly bring people into Synergy Worldwide and how to properly place them in great depth and detail, and showing you the power of what this does for you. And then I created I didn't call this one a mind map, but I created a quick reminder of the key information that is shared in this video. So let's go to this PDF so that I can share with you what we want you to understand. Now, in proper sponsoring and placement, you really need to look at where you're at in Synergy. If you're a new distributor, starting off right from the beginning with no one in your downline organization, then there's a proper sponsoring and placement technique that will help you be able to create volume on both sides of your organization. Going back down, this individual down here, the guy with his arms raised up, that's your tracking center 1. You've got a left side and you've got a right side. So what is the basic guideline for a new distributor when they first join? Well, as they sponsor people into their Synergy organization, they want to sponsor the first person on their outside left, the second person goes on their outside right, and then the third person is going to go on the outside of their weak leg. So using that This person here sponsors their first person on the outside of their left leg. Their second person gets sponsored on the outside of their right leg. And then that third person would get sponsored on the outside of their weak leg. So what you would do is you'd go into your back office and you would look to see left side, right side, what is the CV volume on those sides? Now, if they're both equal, then you can decide whether you're going to put them on the outside of the left or the outside of the right. But if one side, let's say the left side, came in with 150 CV of volume, and this person on my right side came in with 300 CV of volume, then my decision for the third person is going to go on the outside of my weak leg, which means that you would put them here on the outside of that first person I sponsored. That way you're always trying to balance your two legs. And when you come to the end of the month, you'll have residual income created because you've got organizational volume on both sides of your synergy organization, both sides of your tracking center one. The common mistake that most people make when they first get into Synergy Worldwide is start sponsoring people all on one side. And you can do that, but if I could sponsor 100 people on my left-hand side and have no one on my right-hand side, I could have 10,000 CV of volume on my left-hand side and 0 on my right-hand side. And guess what? I'm going to get paid 0 basic commissions because I have no volume on my weak leg. Basic commission is paid on your weak leg. So I want to make sure that I'm building both my left and right sides by using a sponsor and placement technique that builds both sides and understands where to put people. I work in threes. First person outside left, second person outside right, third person on the outside of your weak leg. Then you start over. And what do you do next in the next 3 people? Well, the next person that comes in, I want to place them on the outside of my weak leg. And then that next person on the outside of my strong leg, and the third person on the outside of my weak leg. Always going into my Synergy back office to check at the time that I'm ready to bring a person in, what is my weak leg? What is my strong leg at that time? And if you do that, you're now growing both sides of your Synergy organization. You have some balance to the growth. And if you're teaching the ones that you bring in, that you've personally sponsored, to replicate the same process, so this person that I first brought in and placed on my left-hand side, she now decides to begin to build her Synergy business. What is she going to do? She's going to use proper sponsoring and placement techniques. Where does the first person that she brings in go? On her outside left. And the second person that she brings in goes on her outside right. And the third person that she brings in goes on the outside of her weak leg. She goes into her back office, sees which is her weak leg, and then places them on the outside of that weak leg. And she teaches the people that she's personally sponsored to do the same thing. So for this individual down here that she brought in, the first person that she brought in, she's teaching that individual proper sponsor and placement techniques. So what's he going to do? First person that he brings in is going to go on his outside left. The second person that he brings in, his outside right. And then the third person that he brings in on the outside of his weak leg. And then just repeat. Next person in, outside weak leg. Next person outside strong leg. Next person outside weak leg. As you teach your personally sponsored distributors to repeat this proper sponsoring and placement technique, one, it's building organizational volume on your leg. Secondly, it's making sure that the individuals that you sponsored are balanced on their left and right hand sides with organizational volume on both sides, which then earns them a basic commission, and you mega match that basic commission. And you're doing the same thing for people on your right-hand side that you personally sponsored. You're teaching them the same techniques. New distributor just came in, this gentleman here. He's going to sponsor his first person on his outside left, the second person on his outside right, and then the third person on the outside of his weak leg, whether it's his left or right-hand sides. and he's teaching these individuals that he brought in to do exactly the same thing. Now, as you do that, your left and right-hand sides in your synergy organization are going to grow and develop, and you're going to create organizational volume, especially if you're also teaching these individuals that you're sponsoring how to develop their mission, their marketing strategy, their elevator speech, using tools and resources that are available to them in our Synergy Family resource page to be able to create for them their first, the first 10 of the 10-10 club, helping them create their customer base that becomes their client base, that some of those clients become advocates for them so that they're at some point in time generating 10 or more monthly orders to create significant cash flow to run their synergy business, which is also creating organizational volume for you. And if they're also then teaching the same thing down to the people that they've sponsored, you're helping everyone strengthen their synergy business with cash flow through customers and creating organizational volume on both your left-hand and right-hand sides, which increases your basic commission, as well as helping each individual that you've sponsored as they apply the same practices and techniques, creating organizational volume on their left and right-hand sides to create basic commission for them that you then mega match. So if I can help this lady on the left-hand side that I personally sponsored create $250 in basic commission, I mega match that. And if I help this individual on my right-hand side to do the same thing, create $250 of basic commission, I mega match that dollar for dollar. And if I repeat that process and help all the people that I've brought into Synergy Worldwide and properly place them on my left and right-hand sides, and use this system of proper sponsoring and placement techniques to enable them to grow successful synergy businesses where they've got volume on both their left and right-hand sides, everyone benefits. They benefit by having basic commission. You benefit by matching their basic commission. And as they teach the people that they personally sponsored to do the same thing, the people that they personally sponsored create a basic commission for themselves, which that individual then is able to mega match off of. For some of us, existing distributors, you might have a side, left or right, that has either significant volume every month or you have bank volume that is significant. If that's the case, then your proper sponsoring and placement technique is just slightly different. So let's use an example. This individual here, I'm just going to call him Fred. So Fred's got on his right-hand side, he has 25,000 CV of volume every month, and he's got 500,000 CV volume banked. Well, for Fred, his strategy of proper sponsoring and placement is going to be slightly different. Instead of putting people on his strong leg, he already has a strong leg with significant bank volume on that strong leg, with people that he's teaching to properly implement for them sponsoring and placement techniques. So that leg is continuing to grow and develop. He needs to come to his left-hand side, his weak leg, and find an individual that he's personally sponsored who's going to work, actually is invested in building a synergy business, is on a monthly auto ship, and then say to that individual, hey, I want to partner with you in helping you really significantly grow your synergy business. So what I want to do, and let's say it's this individual down here, okay? No, I'll take that back. He wouldn't have placed someone there. Let's take this last person down here. This lady that you see that's like third generations from him that he's personally sponsored, and she's building a synergy business. She's got people on her left and right hand sides. You know, she's using the sponsoring and placement techniques. She's gaining her customers. She's building cash flow off of her tracking center one through elite rebates, and she's beginning to earn basic commissions and mega matching off of some of the people that she's brought into Synergy worldwide. And Fred comes, and let's say her name is Sue, and he says to Sue, Sue, you know, I wanna partner with you, and here's what this looks like. I want to help you significantly grow your Synergy business. So what I want to do, Sue, is I'm in the process of sponsoring people. You're sponsoring people, but let's harness what we're doing. The people that you sponsor are still the people that you're going to sponsor. The ones that I sponsor are going to be people that I sponsor, but I want to use this proper sponsoring and placement technique so that under you, as I sponsor someone, I'll go in and check your volumes, and then I'll place my individual, my first one, on the outside of your weak leg. And if you sponsor someone before I sponsor my next one, then you can sponsor them on the outside of your strong leg. And then when we get to the third person, whether it's you or I, that third person is going to get sponsored on the outside of your weak leg. And that way, between the people that I sponsor and the ones that you sponsor, every time we're ready to sponsor someone, we check with each other to see where best to place them, either outside weak leg, outside strong leg, outside weak leg, so that we can continue to build both sides of your Synergy organization to the point where one side takes off. And then once that happens for you, Sue, you can then find someone that you've personally sponsored and partner with them and do exactly what I'm doing with you. Enable them, not enable, that's the wrong word. Assist them, work with them through this proper sponsoring and placement technique to help them significantly grow their Synergy business. And Sue, I just want to be upfront with you. I've got a vested interest in this. Because Sue, as I can help you grow both sides of your organization, that's going to increase your basic commissions. And the higher your basic commission becomes, the greater my mega match, because I mega match off of you, Sue, a dollar for dollar mega match. So I have a vested interest in your success. Does that sound good to you, that we would partner together? We still sponsor our own individuals, but we work together that when we're ready to sponsor someone, we look into your organization and see where it's best to place that individual, on the outside of your weak leg, outside of your strong leg, or the outside of your weak leg. And then we repeat the process with the next three that we bring in. And if you do that, then what will happen is you'll significantly increase the volume, organizational volume on your weak leg, which then increases your basic commissions. Increases your basic commissions, as well as you help that individual see significant growth in their weak leg, which increases their basic commission, which then also then increases your mega match off of their basic commission. So that's the proper sponsoring and placement technique. And again, if we go back to this page, this video here, understanding proper sponsoring and placement technique, will help walk you through that process. We'll give you some of the terminology that's involved in some of the things that I've not shared with you, is a little bit more in depth and detail. But when you take that video and boil it all down, that's what this PDF is. Understanding for a new distributor how to get started in proper sponsoring and placement. Once they've got their first three in, what do they do with the next three that they're sponsoring and placement? I mean, if they're applying the 10-10 club, right? What's the application of the 10-10 club? It's building to 10 committed Synergy distributors. So you need to know how to place them on your left and right hand sides. and teaching that down through your organization. And then if one side takes off, then you know how to strengthen your weak leg by partnering with an existing distributor that you've personally sponsored, who's willing to go to work, who's on a monthly auto ship, so that you can help them continue to effectively build both their left and right hand sides by partnering together with this sponsoring and placement technique that will strengthen their synergy organization and increase the organizational volume on your weak leg to help you earn higher basic commissions as well as earn a higher mega match off of the individual that you're working with. So do I have any questions on anything that I've shared with you today? You can go in and you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you've got a question.
Hey, Dan, it's Judy.
Yes, Judy.
Well, thank you so much. That was such a great explanation of how to place people and how to look really at your downline so that you get them in the right place.
Thank you, Judy.
I would also like to remind everyone to, even though we are doing this manually, we also want to go into our back office and set it up so that if something happens and a distributor signs up without asking us, it gets put in a good place. You can go into the back office and have it automatically put on your right side, automatically put on your left side, or let the computer decide which was the side with the less volume for the last month. And it's not a fail-safe place, but it reminded me because this month, I was lucky enough to sponsor 3 people. 2 of them signed up on their own. And luckily I had my back office set so that they would get to the right place. Because moving them, once they are in there, is not an easy thing to do. It takes paperwork to change them from one leg to the other. So just go back there and protect yourself so that if something happens that, people come in without us knowing, or you've been talking to them and they decide, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and sign up. It goes in the right place. So that's just a thought from me.
That's a fantastic thought, Judy, and I'm glad you brought it up, because for a new distributor coming in, you can go in your back office and choose the one where the computer puts them on the outside of your weak leg, the side that has the lesser volume. And then if you're an existing distributor and you've got a leg that has significant growth to it and has huge amounts of bank volume, let's say it's your right-hand side, then you can go into the back office and set it up for the computer to put the individual on the outside of your weak leg. The computer will always put it on the outside of the left leg, or the outside of the right leg, or the outside of the leg that has the lesser amount of volume from the previous month. So that's great. I'm glad you brought it up, Judy. Anyone else with any questions before we say goodbye?
Hello, Dan. It's Donald.
Yes, Donald.
Like Judy said, this is a great presentation. And as long as I've been in the business, I still needed help, or still need help in sometimes making placements. So I thank you. You're welcome, Donald. And hopefully this PDF that we've created makes it, instead of having to watch the whole video, it's kind of like a cheat sheet. It helps you understand, okay, I've got someone that I'm going to bring in. Okay, where do I place them? All you have to do is go and look at this sheet, and it'll maybe give you a better guidance on doing that. Absolutely. Thanks again. You're welcome.
Good morning, Dan. This is Dave. How are you?
Yes, Dave. Good.
Good, good. I just had one question and one observation. I guess observation first for all those listening. Sometimes, Dan, when I've brought people in and I've had a doubt as to where to put them, maybe I'm thinking of 2 or 3 different places. we do have resources. So I usually reach out to you, Dan, and say, look, I'm thinking of putting this person here, there. Sometimes you'll take a look at my organization and give me some feedback. So that resource is always there if folks want to talk to their upline just when they're in doubt. And that's how I've learned, just by talking to you and you know, analyzing it myself. The question I have, Dan, is I know that Synergy offers a lot of reports on their platform. Is there a report that would show you, that you know of the volumes on individuals without having to dig through the tree?
No, I don't know of a report without going through the tree. So, you know, to me, one of the things that you can do, I'm not going to pull up my back office, but one of the things that you can do on your back office is when you enter your back office for the first time, you're on the dashboard, and then there is a place on your dashboard where you can put key Synergy distributors, ones that you've personally sponsored and individuals that you haven't. As long as they're in your organization, you can put them into that field. And then, you know, because like I've got you and I've got Arnold and I've got Judy. I've never sponsored Judy, but Judy's in my organization. So I've got key individuals that are in there that gives me a quick look to be able to see where they're at, you know, whether they've got volume on their tracking center one, what their personal volume is. It shows me their volumes on their left side and their right side.
And how is it that you do that, Dan? You say you can label them as key?
Yes.
Okay. I have to follow up with you about that later.
Yeah. If you want to do it before Thursday when we meet on Zoom, we can do it. Otherwise, when we talk on Thursday on our Zoom meeting, I can show you exactly how to do that in your back office.
Okay, I'll be in touch.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. And then
Thank you.
I just want people to understand something that just happened. David is in my organization. I've had the privilege of personally sponsoring David and working with David. And I mentioned that I meet with David on Thursdays on Zoom. Just like you're here on Zoom today on Saturday, we're doing a general presentation for all of our Synergy family, helping to educate you. Specifically on Thursdays, I work with David on Zoom where we can see we have tasks that we've set for each other. You know, David has a set of tasks to get done for next Thursday. I have a set of tasks to get done for David for next Thursday, so that when we meet on Thursday, you know, we're just not talking about the weather. We're actually saying, okay, this is what I've gotten done. This is what I've gotten done. How does it fit into his marketing strategy? Once we've got that marketing strategy up and operational, the funnel working for him, what's the next thing that we're going to do to help him continue to grow his Synergy business? And we meet on Zoom every Thursday to hold each other accountable to the processes of working together to help David be successful. Because if I can help David be successful, then I'm going to grow my Synergy organization. I'm going to earn a bigger mega match off of David as his basic commission. So you need to be working with your key people, the ones that you've sponsored. And then I work with Judy on Mondays. Now, I didn't sponsor Judy, but Judy is in my left-hand side. That's my weak leg. So I want to strengthen my weak leg. How am I going to strengthen my weak leg? By working with Judy, who is a great Synergy distributor. And so it's a privilege to work with Judy. Even though I don't mega match off of her, anything that I can do to help Judy grow her organizational volume strengthens my left leg and will be key to getting me to team manager and team director as I help Judy get to team leader and team manager, and then eventually team director. This whole process of understanding the 10-10 Club and working with your key individuals to help them grow their Synergy business in their customer base and their distributor base and replicating the process down through their organization is key. And Zoom is free. Get a Zoom account and then use it to meet people. You know, David lives in Bolingbrook, which is like a 30-minute at best, 45-minute with traffic. Well, why waste 45 minutes of travel time when we can meet through the internet on Zoom and accomplish the same thing and save ourselves an hour to an hour and a half of drive time. Whether I go to see David or David comes to see me, or we meet in the middle, it saves us time that we can then devote to our synergy business. And Judy lives even closer to me, but it's much more convenient to do it through Zoom. And if I've got a person who lives on the other side of the country, like I've got individuals, in Barbados. I meet with them every Thursday night. So I can't travel to Barbados every Thursday. They can't travel to the United States every Thursday, but we can travel through Zoom every Thursday, and we can work together with what we're going to do for the next week to help them build their synergy business. You've got the same access. You just have to implement. Thanks, David. Anyone else with any questions or comments before we say goodbye?
Yes, Dan. John here. I have a question for you. Maybe this should be more direct for David. I recently, just within this last week here, started doing some promotion of my business via Facebook. And I've been getting a large number of persons responding from the Spanish-speaking community, which is a bit of a challenge for me to communicate with. But also have some French-speaking persons as well out of the Northern Caribbean area. But what I wanted to know is about the way that I can work with maybe David, because he speaks Spanish fluently, and is better able to communicate with those Spanish-speaking persons, to be able still to have those persons in my business, even though David will be the one maybe doing most of the communication in their native language.
Yeah, and let's see. John is on your right-hand side. He's part of the Barbados group that's on your right-hand side. So, I can't speak for David, and I don't want to put David on the spot. But, let's get the two of you connected so that maybe some of the resources that David has created in the Hispanic community, you would be able to leverage with the people that you're attracting on Facebook.
Okay. All right.
And John, I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You just implemented a Facebook strategy, correct?
Correct.
And you're beginning to get responses.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want people to understand, John took an action. He implemented a marketing strategy, and that marketing strategy is making people aware of what he's doing, and it's resonating with people to the point where they're responding to John wanting more information. John, I congratulate you.
Thank you.
Other people need you. John implemented. You're not going to grow your customer base or your distributor base unless you implement. Everything is about implementation. And then as you implement, you refine and you add. When I did my first video, I didn't just stop with one video. I added videos. My first year on YouTube, I think I got about 7,000 channel views. Because I've consistently added videos to my YouTube channel, I get 7,000 channel views every month or less. That creates for me a large client base. Doesn't start initially, it happens over time because you're consistently putting information up. John has started a Facebook campaign to let people know what he's doing, and he's already seen results. You've got to implement. Thanks, John.
Okay, before you go, I would like to know how we can communicate with David directly.
Yeah, I'll send you an email as soon as we finish on today's presentation and connect you up with David.
Okay, appreciate that very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, all right. And thanks very much for what you shared, and very, very helpful. as I also make my attempt this year to really do something about growing my business. Okay, thanks very much.
You're welcome, John. And if I can be of help to you, let me know. We can always set up a Zoom time. You're in my organization.
Yeah, thanks very much. Will do.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else before we say goodbye? All right. I want to thank you for your time today. I'll see you next Saturday for the next presentation. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I'll try and deliver some good information next week too. Thanks, everyone. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.